Pedro Alonso Lopez, often referred to as the Monster of the Andes, was a man whose name became synonymous with horror across three South American countries, Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. Born in 1948 in Santa Isabel, Colombia, Lopez's early life was marred by violence and tragedy. His mother, a prostitute, subjected him to harsh physical abuse, and by the age of 8, he was living on the streets, alone and vulnerable. This brutal upbringing planted the seeds of the darkness that would later define his life. Lopez's life of crime began with petty theft, but it soon escalated. After being brutally assaulted in prison at a young age, something inside him snapped. Upon his release, he embarked on a killing spree that spanned years, claiming the lives of possibly hundreds of young girls. His method was chillingly methodical. He would lure his victims away from public areas, often to secluded spots where he would strangle them and bury their bodies. By 1980, the number of girls disappearing in small villages across Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru had reached alarming levels. Authorities were slow to connect the dots, largely due to the remoteness of the areas and the transient nature of many of the communities. However, Lopez's luck ran out in 1980 when he was caught trying to lure a young girl from a market in Ecuador. The girl's mother alerted the police, leading to his arrest. In custody, Lopez confessed to the unimaginable. He claimed to have killed over 300 girls, 110 of them in Ecuador alone. Skeptical at first, authorities were horrified when he led them to mass graves filled with the remains of young girls. His calm, detached demeanor during the confessions added an even more chilling layer to his crimes. Lopez was sentenced to life in prison in Ecuador, but due to the country's laws, he was released after just 14 years. Deported to Colombia, he was declared insane and committed to a psychiatric hospital. Astonishingly, he was released again in 1998, after just 3 years. Since his release, Pedro Alonso Lopez has vanished. His current whereabouts are unknown, and rumors abound. Some believe he returned to a life of crime, while others think he's living quietly somewhere, hiding from his past. His story is a terrifying reminder of how evil can sometimes evade justice, leaving behind a legacy of fear and unanswered questions.